Yes, just give your name and address to the record.
Yes. Good evening. My name is Jerry Andrews. I live at 363 Charlton Avenue. I've been a resident of South Orange for over 30 years. I don't mean to turn my back on the board, but I understand the camera's here, and I know that there are...
The camera board.
The camera's up there, so I can address the board.
Proper to address the
Good.
board.
I know it's proper. I thank you for helping me with that. I thought it would be appropriate tonight to go onto the website in South Orange to kind of read a little bit of the history of the development of the village. And first of all, I would like to praise the village for a lot of the things that they've done. The Sloan Street development has been fantastic. I think we've won some awards. On the website itself, it says that we've had a very good rate of renting on the development space, which actually proves that it has been a successful endeavor that was started in 1994, only 12 short years ago. And being that I've been in South Orange for 30 years, I think this is probably the most successful thing I've seen happen in South Orange. Perhaps the second most successful thing was the credit card. Bill, I think that was your idea. South Orange credit card, where we're going to get some money from people using their credit card in town. Creative ideas. These are the types of things that get people reelected. These are the type of things that the residents of South Orange appreciate and hope to see happen in the future. I arrived back at my car the other day, and there was actually a piece of literature, and I'm very grateful for the people that put it there because I had no idea about the town. I'm one of these people that live in South Orange. I pay my taxes. I go to work. And I enjoy living in South Orange. And I came back from the train to find a statement that said there were many misconceptions about the town. Well, quite frankly, I was ignorant of the town. So I didn't have any misconceptions. So I started to read what were some of the misconceptions. And one of the misconceptions was that the township of the village of South Orange was going to be stuck with a bill. But that, of course, it was illustrated to me by the people that were in favor of the town. That was only going to cost the village $250,000. And I thought to myself, gee, I wonder how many years my property taxes would go to pay that $250,000. And as a matter of fact, I don't even know what the average taxes are for somebody in South Orange, but let's just say it's $25,000 a year, which is high, right? It's not that high, right? So I'm doing that for simplicity's sake because then that would only take 10 years of somebody's salary to pay that $250,000. But it's less than that. So it would actually take one average homeowner like myself more than 10 years to pay for a replica, not an original, but a replica of a piece of art that was developed by somebody from South Orange. God bless him, I think he's no longer with us. That is proudly displayed at Hunter College in New York. I have never ever seen that piece of art in New York. As a matter of fact, I have no idea who this artist is. There were very, very nice articles in the Village Record that were also attached to the misconceptions that I had, or I was supposed to have, about what was happening with the Tau. The artist rendering, and as you folks know, there are artist renderings on our website. The artist renderings on our website are really fantastic. One of the things that I've appreciated about the village is the disclosures that we've had. You remember that sign that we had, Village Market coming soon? I want to thank the board for having that sign taken. It only was up there for 3 years, and now fortunately the sign is down. And I want to just tell you folks that that's great. Because we'd like to know, we'd like full disclosure. So, I noticed that there were some decisions that the town made that I just couldn't reconcile in my own mind. So I started to think back. We had this study that was done just 12 years ago. And part of this whole development, and it's mentioned in here, this was a very, very friendly process that was going on. As a matter of fact, I know there are two people here that were very friendly in the whole process. Leslie and Blaze. I know they were thrilled about the town trying to condemn their property. I know that we've had difficulty understanding why Sick-Life Brothers and their property was sold to New Jersey Transit, never to be reclaimed, when there's a parking shortage in South Orange, where we had a great location to build a multiple parking lot, as they have in Summit, as they have in Montclair, and other cities. And I look at the pictures that were drawn years ago, and I marvel at how a town like Livingston could, within a very few short years, not only come up with a design, but actually construct it, and have the stores rented, and have people using it. So I start to reflect and think, well, perhaps I'm missing something. And I thought, well, now I'm seeing some signs of the Sterling Group. And I went onto the internet because I'm very curious, even though I may not come to every meeting. I do pay my taxes, and I do read the paper, and I see what's going on. And I decided that I would try to find out a little bit about the Sterling Group. And I saw the sign, and being that I'm in sales, I figured, well, I'll call up and find out how much it costs to buy a unit. Has anyone tried calling 973-763-6767? If you want, I'll dial it up right now. And I'll tell you what the recording says. Would you like to hear it? Let's see here. What's it say? It won't take long. Just come right on and tell you. Let's see if we can get it. I'll throw you right into the microphone.
Will you live, laugh, love, and be happy at the ultra chic condominium community coming soon to the village of South Orange?
You can't hear it. Well, what it tells you is that leave your name and telephone number for them to call you back, where you can live, laugh, and have a great life in South Orange, and put your name on the waiting list. And I thought, isn't that rather interesting? There's a waiting list, and I've only recently seen the signs. And I'm trying to say to myself, how can there be a waiting list if nobody knows about it? And if I'm in sales and I know that if somebody calls me up and they say they want to buy something, just from a logical perspective, somebody would call me back. So I called and I left a message. Nobody called me back. So then I figured I'd call again. Nobody called me back. Then I asked somebody, I said, do me a favor, would you call this number? I would ask everybody to try calling this number, 973-763-6767. You'll hear about how wonderful it is to live at this new development. We've knocked down some really historic buildings. We have an empty supermarket for how many years now? How many years with somebody? 5 years. 5 years we have an empty supermarket. How many years ago did the ShopRite close? You must know you don't think that's right. How many years ago? You gave that look of, no, that can't be 5 years. How many years was it? 4 years? 10 years ago, okay? So you think it's longer than 5 years. So it's 10 years. How many years ago they closed? 4.5 years ago. Okay, I thought it was 5. I apologize. 5. Okay, so 5 years ago. So now we have an empty supermarket. I'm assuming we're not getting taxes paid. Maybe I'm wrong there. We have not been able to find anybody to come in there. We had the oldest ShopRite in the state of New Jersey, the original ShopRite unsold. Now, it wasn't the greatest store in the world, but there are a lot of little people that live around the village here, little old ladies that come into your store bill. They want to buy their vitamins, they want to buy their medicine, they want to buy their canes. They're coming right into your store. And you're getting the bottle, you say, I'm not going to charge you $7.99, I'm going to charge you $5.99. You know that thing, So, you're giving them that. And all of a sudden, now these people, what do they have to do? They have to walk up to Rite Aid, or they have to go to Pathmark, or they have to go to the A&P. I read in here that we have, is this true, what's on the website? Is this guy Choi still going for it? Is he still going to do it, or is that true? Do we have, I read what's on the website, and I really don't believe what I read here. You know why I don't believe it? Because I've been looking at these artist renderings now for years. I've been looking at an artist rendering of what the supermarket was going to look like. I'm looking at an artist rendering of what different buildings are going to look like. And I think back to Election Day.